for someone like an entrepreneur, they are building a business, or maybe they have an established business. How do they create wealth? Just because you have a successful business, it doesn't mean you have created wealth, right?
Well, I think it depends on the stage of your business and how old you are.
Okay, that's
right.
good.
So you should start with that. If you're 30 years old, I mean, it's balls against the wall, right? You're like, hey, I got energy. Hey, if I lose it all in 3 or 4 years, I can do it again at 35. Yes. You know, and so your risk tolerance starts to shrink the older you get. You know, I wouldn't advise a 55, 60-year-old guy to have the same kind of risk tolerance as a 35-year-old guy, right? You don't have the energy, you don't have the resource, you don't have the health, all those kinds of things. I think once your business gets to a certain level of...
what would you consider to be? It depends
well, it's different for everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like we were talking about before. Is cash flow, do you need $100,000 a year? Do you need $1 million a year? Do you need $5 million a year? What's your lifestyle? And what's important to you? Is it time? Is it money? What are you willing to trade off for that? But whenever that point is that you decide, when you reach it, then you have to say, I look at it in 3 buckets. Kind of like your survival, success, significance kind of thing. I look at it as the same 3 buckets. I look and say, okay, how much time am I going to do things that what I call artifacts?
Okay.
So I create these artifacts. You know, I make social justice movies for documentary. I don't make any money on them, but they're artifacts of my life. I wrote a play. You know, that's an artifact of my life. I've written
kind of like passion projects.
They're passion projects, but they live longer than you do. If you were to get hit by a bus today, God forbid, these would live on after you. So this is
almost like your legacy.
It's your legacy. These are your artifacts.
Okay.
Then the second thing is you have to run the business that you're running. So you got to set it up. Okay. So, you know, it has a balance sheet and cash flow and, you know, has investment opportunities and so on. So that's your business. That, you know, that's the mothership that goes along.
Got it. Okay.
And then your third thing is, hey, I got here, the community helped me, my team helped me, the world helped me. How do I give back? You know, and that's, you know, we've set up 3 foundations, you know, mentoring, what kind of charities am I going to give to the community? How do I help people that were where I was 20 years ago, you know, and show them the way of the world? So those are the way kind of I split my thinking, you know. Obviously you have to take care of the mothership and the company, make sure it's successful. Yes. What are my artifacts, and then how do I give back?
And once an entrepreneur thinks about how to allocate their time, resources, effort into these things,
right?
And now, like I said, they have a business that makes money. I know you like real estate.
Love real estate,
right?
Yeah. I mean, if you look over the last 100 years, it's had an average appreciation of almost 3%.
Right.
No stock can say that. Nothing can say that. No one has a 100-year trend like that.
Well, even Aegis Living, it's a real estate company as well as you have an operating company.
Absolutely.
Right? Talk to us about that.
Well, it's a twofer, and it's like anything. There's a lot of retail players that say, hey, I have a retail business, and I lease my real estate from the real estate company that owns the business.
Yes.
And, you know, one value drives the other, and they work hand in hand. So you get money off the operating company, that's cash flow. But if it's a really good operating brand, what the Aegis is, we're number 1 in our sector. So, you know, we're the Four Seasons, or we're the Neiman Marcus, or we're the Nordstroms, or, you know, the Starbucks. Everyone you have a leader in your sector. We're that leader in that sector. If you can have that, then the value of your real estate goes up. There's an increased brand value. So we like picking out really good real estate, building beautiful buildings, having great programs that do really great things for our residents, and, you know, that's how you build a company that you're proud of.
And like you share with me, because you're such a great operator, it also helps with the appreciation of the real estate.
Yeah, it's the power of the flag, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, if you own a retail mall and you know, let's say
you have some anchor tenants.
An anchor tenant like Nordstrom's comes in, you're going to value them and give them more credibility, a better release deal, everything else than, you know, somebody who's struggling like Kmart.
Yes.
You know, so the value of that flag and that brand means a lot.
That makes a lot of sense. So real estate, and also you were telling me about finding location.
Yeah, well, you know, so many people are like, oh, this is a great location. It doesn't cost very much.
It's cheap.
It's cheap. It's easy to permit. Whatever. Whenever I hear those words, I run. What I want people to say is, this is a really hard property to develop. It's expensive. It's going to take you a long time to develop. You know, I want that property.
Right.
Because there's only one of those, right? There's not 50 of them. And then what else happens is then competition will take a long time to follow. There's no two of the one kind of site, right? So it will be a barrier to entry to all your competition to follow you. So if you find those unique sites,
So you pay for premium.
you always pay for premium, but in real estate, the premium is the premium. And so rarely does that one off-site, that premium site go down, rarely.
Usually the other sites their values go down
The
first.
ones that are cheap and easy to develop, there's going to be a zillion of those.
Yes.
And that means you're going to have a zillion competitors, right? I want to get in that one unique piece of real estate, build a phenomenal building that's architecturally superior, put staffing and service in that's superior, and have a great brand that's superior. And man, you just check all four of those boxes.
Makes sense.
And that's how you become a leader.
And one more question I definitely want to ask about relationships or relational capital, right? You work with, you know, a lot of very, very high level people, celebrities that you're friends with. How do you develop those relationships? How should someone approach those relationships, your relational capital?
Well, it starts with small things, right? So we've never ever failed to give a return to an investor, ever, in the 21, 22 years
That's
history of our
amazing.
company.
That's
Not one time. We have never asked an investor, although legally they have, they're required to, if we miss budget, they have to put in their pro rata share of the miss. We've never in the history of the company asked an investor to put in money into those projects.
Wow.
So you get a reputation of integrity, you get a real reputation of doing what you say you're going to do, you have a reputation of great returns, you have a reputation of good programmatic value, providing excellent resident care, and people want to be associated with you because your brand is great, you know?
Right.
And if your brand is great and you have a great economic model, then that's everything, right? And so, but we started with, 30 friends and family. I think we have almost 300 now. Some very high net worth people. And because of that, we have no problem with capital. We have no problem getting equity
And
investors.
the return that they're getting, it's
They're delighted with it.
Yeah.
But beyond the return, they're delighted being associated with such a well-run company.
yes.
And people are attracted to that. They're attracted to our social justice model. They're attracted to the fact that we're big in philanthropy. So beyond the return, they get excited.
feel good.
They feel good. It's the whole package of things. And when you can identify all those things, that's when you got a home run and limitless capital.
And even one of the richest men in Hong Kong, Mr. Lee, and in one of his interview, he talks about what is his secret to success. He said it's his willingness to develop a reputation.
Yeah.
That in the beginning we have no reputation, business is tough because you're chasing people, right?
Yeah.
But once you've developed that reputation, then people come to you. Like a good example, he said, let's say he's doing a deal. It's perfectly fine for him, let's say, to get 50% of the deal. He said he could even get 55, 60%, but he said, if I just get 45 and 40%, people want to do business with
Yeah.
me again.
Yeah.
Like leaving some chips on the table.
Well, you have to leave the chips on the table, and you have to delight your investors.
Yes.
The one thing I would tell the people that are watching this video is very important, is you should pick your investors like you pick your best friends. You can get money from a whole lot of people.
True, that's true.
All kinds of people are going to give you money if you have a successful brand. Make sure you pick people that you want to be married to the rest of your life.
Wow.
Because if you pick someone who's a pain in your rear end,
Yes.
they're going to be a pain in your rear end. And you're running your company
All
will
the
not
time.
be a fun thing. And so you have to have the opportunity and the contractual ability to fire some of your investors if you want. Now, we choose our investors very carefully, and we only let people in who we really like, and we say, here's the deal, here's the investment, you get to sit in the back seat and say nothing. So if you like this deal, that's the deal. Well, we have no shortage of those people. If you get a guy that's calling you every day and calling you at
How's
home,
my money doing?
calling
How
you at
you running a
Christmas,
business?
you don't need those people.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you say, why do I run a company? Well, I want control, I want to have a good lifestyle, whatever. If you got that guy that's calling you and hammering you every day, it's not going to be very fun.
And when you walk us through, give us a tour in one of the properties,
Yeah.
I was just amazed.
Thank you.
I thought, like, I have an idea. I think it's gonna be good. Like, I have an idea. I've
Yeah.
been to a lot of properties.
But come on, you thought this is old folks home. This is not
yeah,
going to be that great, huh?
it's, I get it. Maybe a little bit more upgrade. I get it. The bathroom is a bit nicer, right?
Yeah.
When I walked in, it's not what I thought at all, right? You're gonna see some of the videos. And Jenny was asking me, well, you know, would you have your mom live here? I said, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, thank you.
And because I could see, and I was asking Dwayne about the little details throughout the entire property. How much involvement, I said, right, you have with this? And he said, like 100%.
Yeah. I think, you know, the CEO's got to be in tune with all the current trends, philosophies, interiors, all those things. And you know, my wife and I travel all around the world, and we'll see something in Rome or Paris or London or Cape Town or wherever, and we'll say, we're going to bring that back, put it in a building. Because why would we deny the greatest oracles of our time, these 82, 83-year-old people? Why would we deny them the best? We should be searching every crevice of the universe for the best amenities for them. They're our parents, they're our grandparents, they're our loved ones.